Many people today create their own problems. Many people have a victim mindset and use that as an excuse in order to not take care of their responsibilities in their life. In the book Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill talks about major factors that you need to pay attention to if you want to be free in this life. One of them is that we built our life on these two important pillars, faith and fear. Every one of us has fears. Some of them are rational, some are irrational. We fear poverty, criticism, sickness, losing loved ones, growing old, and death. We often use fear as an excuse to deny ourselves acting on our dreams and goals. We act on our fears rather than rationalizing them. Fear is the one that makes us procrastinate, and when we procrastinate, we stagnate. The devil's desire is to make us permanent drifters, to never accomplish our goals and dreams in this life. In the book, Napoleon Hill writes about the devil's most clever ways to ruining us and how he uses the most common fears against men. The devil decides to first invade our minds with the principle of habit in order to then establish the habit of drifting. A clear definition of drifting from the book is this: people who think for themselves never drift, while those who do little or no thinking for themselves are drifters. By this definition, you can think of all the bad habits from today's world, like drinking alcohol, doing drugs, eating junk food, and watching porn and masturbate. These habits make you a drifter. There is a famous saying which states, "An idle mind is the devil's workshop." That's what Napoleon Hill wrote about in Outwitting the Devil. Drifters allow outer world to control their mind and let themselves to be easily manipulated around in life. They have no direction in life because they don't use their brain to think for themselves. If you persist in your bad habits, drifting becomes permanent by the law of hypnotic rhythm as it is described in the book, and the universe itself will abandon you also. You should always think for yourself. If you are surrounded by people who always drink, or always party, and who don't have a clear purpose in their life, it's time to change the circle of people who you are surrounded by. The people we spend the most time with have the most significant influence on us, so we must choose the people we hang out with very carefully. If we hang out with negative people, we will become more negative. We need to carefully choose our social circles and spend time with positive people who bring out the best in us. To rid ourselves of being habitual drifters, we need to be more mindful and aware of our actions and habits. We need to ask ourselves why we do the things we do, and listen to our internal voices, to our intuition. The good news is that the law of hypnotic rhythm can work in our favor if we encourage good habits. And, as we know from the creation of habits, we can replace bad habits with positive ones. We need to develop definite plans and goals. We need to be present in the moment and have a positive mindset in order to become a non-drifter. To be a non-drifter, you need to have a clear purpose and never make excuses for your lack of success. We often hear voices inside us telling us what we should be doing. That's the moment where our inner being is talking to us. It's our intuitive self, and it is usually present in our hardest times. When we are stagnating or procrastinating, our intuitive self jumps in and tries to change our direction. We just have to recognize this and listen to it. We need to listen and get to know all the voices in our head, and in so doing, we'll learn to master the self. The important thing regarding the intuitive voice is identifying when to say yes and when to say no. Another point we can take from this is to listen to ourselves, to learn how to take calculated risks and create a sense of purpose, to have faith in our infinite intelligence. Time can be our biggest friend or our biggest enemy. We have the choice to use time wisely and grow, or we can waste our time and procrastinate. How we decide to spend our time is very important, and the devil often tempts us into drifting and becoming aimless. One of the crucial lessons of outwitting the devil is that it's okay to always put yourself first. We don't have to please everyone, and we're more effective if we put our needs first. By keeping up with our own purpose and goals, we're more likely to be in the position to serve and help others. With the power of positive thinking, we can plan in advance, set clear goals, and develop a deep sense of purpose and avoid the temptation to act impulsively. In conclusion, to outwit the devil, we need to live a conscious and disciplined life, and realize that we're the ones who are in charge of our destiny. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.